All righty, folks. I hope you are settled in. You've got your drink ready. You've got some popcorn if you're a popcorn fan. You've got your snacks because tonight, I don't know, I'm pretty excited. We are going to bring you some dirt track racing here at Eldora, fabled Eldora Speedway. I can't wait for this one. We are bringing Gen 4 action to you. These high powered Gen 4 cars are going to get out here on this track and they're going to try to navigate this dirt oval as these 17, 18 drivers are going to bring you some mud slinging fun. Man, I am going to be very, very excited. Dylan looks like in that 70 car is turning a fantastic lap at a 17:89. I believe that's even quicker than he went there in practice. Looking for that pole position. Nick throwing it in there and just saying he'll get another car off of the trailer between qualifying and the race. So we've already got some chatter out here. Rena's already here, hoping the 37. I'll tell you, Rena, I seen him a little bit earlier in the Discord. I'm not sure if he's looking forward to this one, but looked pretty sporty out there on the track. I watched him in practice. Looked like he was going to be pretty quick. Nick Baum there, we saw him just rotating that car off of that start-finish line. He is going to pick up that third position right now as it sits before we get all these qualifying done for all of these cars. So, man, I'm pretty excited. But before we do that, we've got to get through some of the housekeeping stuff that we have. So let's pop up our schedule as we always do and talk about where we're going and where we're going to be. So we are going to Worldwide Technology next week. Then Martinsville, we're going back to road at Chicago, Dover, Chicagoland, and Darlington. That's going to round out your season prior to the championship chase. And then, in the championship, we have 5 races: Michigan, Road America, Charlotte, Bristol, and Vegas. And then we're going to crown a champion. That's going to take us all the way through to November the 18th. So Steam Donkey in the chat saying, let's go number 22. And that is JD. I will tell you, we have a lot of JD fans in the chat. They'll be there. Marty's in the chat already, saying that he's going to take out the leader because he's going to be several laps down and they're going to try to get by him. We'll see what happens, Marty. I have faith in you. But that's what our schedule looks like. That's where we're going to go. Now let's take a look at where the points are, because a bit of a shake up here. Christian Proctor now is going to take over your top spot here in the points. Jake in that 37. He is going to be sitting right there in second. Nick Raffini's in third. JD Van Kirk, he's going to be in fourth. JD, I believe, was your points leader a little bit earlier on in this season, so he's had a good, strong season so far. Thorndike is going to be right there in fifth, and then Kenny is going to be in sixth. David in seventh, and then Marty there in eighth. Matt in ninth. We see some good runs out of Matt, just hasn't made all of the races. And then Ledesma in that 44 machine, he is going to round out your top 10. We have not seen Alex Anderson in quite some time. He is sitting there in 11th. Jeremy Gill in 12th. Zach White, Marty there in 14th. Shane in 15th. Drafty in 16th. Dylan here coming back has your pole position as it stands right now. He is going to be in 17th. So look for him to try to make the chase, but he has a long uphill battle if he is going to get that done. He is definitely going to have to roll off with some victories. Kenny already in the chat saying, let's go revved up. Yeah, we will see what that revved up racing team can do. And it looks like Kenny... Where is Kenny going to be in our qualifying lineup? We still have some drivers. It looks like we might have a little bit of time here for qualifying. I do not see Kenny turning a lap just yet, so we'll keep an eye out for him. So we've went through your schedule. We've went through your points and what we're going to do points-wise. Now, this is going to be different. Let's talk about this Gen 4 car. Let's talk about how they handle here on this dirt track and what's going to happen. So these cars are straight axle in the back. And what I have noticed is, man, the set looks to be pretty solid because you're going to see these cars lift that left front, especially if they're digging through the center of the turn. So you're going to see them pick that left front wheel up. So keep an eye on that. And it looks like we have some warm up going. As you can see, the fireworks, as they do all of the time here at dirt races, for a little, what's normally a Saturday night fun, we're going to bring that to you here on a Tuesday night. So Kenny's saying, not there. He's got his kids at a cross country meet. Oh, Kenny, that is, hey, listen, family comes first, and I'm sure you're enjoying it, but man, we'd love to see you out here racing tonight. All right, so what do you think? Let's call your winners out there in chat. Looks like Dylan is poised to have a pretty quick car. He's been fast as he's come back. I think he got some damage a couple of weeks ago where he would have picked up the win there. So, man, he is going to be pretty solid, as it sounds like we've got some drivers looking to get out on the track and turn a couple of laps. Let's see if we can go into Wiseman. I believe he is. Nope. It looks like he is just going to sit right there and try to burn him down here on pit road. All right, so Kenny's calling out the 04. So Raffini, man, he looked pretty good too, Kenny. I watched him in practice, and he looked really good. So, yeah, that's a good one. I think, man, Nick, the way that Nick come through that start-finish line, I felt good. But I will tell you, out there, chat, the driver that I think is really going to benefit from slower tire wear on dirt than what you would see, being able to be on the throttle a lot, is got to be that 13 machine. I think if I'm picking somebody, maybe Christian Proctor could pick up a win here, because I can tell you Christian loves to hit the gas pedal on these cars. You're not going to have to concern yourself with tire wear. So I don't know. I think that might be my pick. Now, let's see if we can pop up your results here for qualifying. And there you go. Dylan is going to pick up that pole. You can see him turning a 17.893. Very nice lap by him. Michael Weisman is going to be right there second. Now, Michael was in chat at Discord, and he was very, very confident. Seems like a very confident driver, so we'll see what he can do. Nick Baum is going to be there in third. Jake is going to be in fourth. JD in fifth. Proctor in sixth. Raffini seventh. Drafty right there in eighth. Davis, Jacob, and they're going to round out your top 10. Robert, Jeremy Gill, Ledesma, Zach White, Shane Weldon, and Altman are going to round out your 16 drivers that are going to take the field tonight. Seem Donkey said dirt is the great equalizer. You're absolutely right. It really is. And if you didn't put any time in, and you said, hey, I'm going to go out here, and this thing is, I can play like I do in asphalt, where I go out, put 20 minutes of practice in, and I can learn as I go through. Man, again, they're getting around here in less than 18 seconds, probably be mid-18s to low 19s. If you are off pace a little bit, you are going to find yourself laps down and laps down in a hurry. Rena saying, great qualifying by Hyperspeed. Yeah, good luck to them both. Absolutely. And Shane Weldon, Woody in the chat, rooting on Shane. Where is Shane going to start for us? Where is Shane starting? Shane in 15th. So he's got some time to go. It looks like he's about a second and a half off of that qualifying pace from where Dylan is. So I believe he is going to take a little bit. He's going to benefit from being able to turn some laps. And it looks like Marty, and they're saying turn one, lap one is, well, I will tell you, that is going to happen, and you are going to get some damage. You cannot ride the walls here. If you do, and you bump that right front too many times, you're going to have some damage. It's going to slow you down tremendously. All right, 45 seconds left in warm-ups. After that, we are going to take this thing around this dirt track. Man, I can't wait for this one. I mean, this is just something different than what you normally see. You know, we all kind of get into that mile and a half, even some road course stuff. We all get into that zone. It is great to see these cars out here. Now, you're not going to see any pit stops unless unless they feel like it's going to be slow enough they can come down and get some fuel. But I don't think you're going to want to do that, because you will wind up a lap down just by trying to come in under pit road speed to get service and get back out. I'm not sure if you can do that within a lap. All right, so there you go. That warm-up is over. Christian Proctor still down there turning donuts. You can see him on that screen, but man, he can't do that anymore. He is going to have to get a nice fresh car, a new set of tires, because it is time to go. We are going to bring you, and this is going to be your slide job nationals here, and you are going to see some slide jobs tonight. Eldora is famous for being able to run and get down on that bottom and drive that car in, get all the way up there on that cushion, and rip the top. So we'll see what happens. That pace truck is down. These drivers, you know, they're sweating in those sim rigs. You know this is going to be nervous, especially on your starts. Once everybody gets spaced out, you might see some long green flag runs, 100 laps. Now, remember, I'm not sure exactly how we've got this session set up. Normally on dirt, you do not count your caution laps. I'm not sure how we've got it set up, but that 70 machine and Dylan is going to bring them down tonight. Get these things warmed up. We have already got the lights off on that pace truck. So this is going to be a hurried start. So here you go. You've got Dylan, Michael Wiseman on the outside. Jake is going to be right there in third, and Nick Baum on that outside. So they're going to switch this up just a little bit. You see Nick Baum starting third. Jake's going to be on the outside. I believe that's going to be your preferred line here. It's going to be that outside cushion, especially on these starts, because you're going to get a ton of momentum. Now, you are going to see this track start to slick up and black over, and that's going to be the amount of rubber that they laid down. So you're going to see a lot of these drivers have to start searching around for some grip. All right, the talking is over. The points are over. It is time to see if we can get that pace truck off, and we are going to do that. Dylan bringing them down here. And there you go. Green flag is in there. We are already spinning tires as he's Gen 4 trying to get some traction. He is going to jump to the high side right up to that cushion immediately. And there you go. You can see him just wiggling off of those turns. Dylan up high, putting that right rear right on the cushion, getting a ton of drive off. Man, right back here, we are 2 wide. I thought we were 3 wide for a minute. Christian Proctor's up there. Drafty's in the wall. Nick Raffini digging there on the bottom. Oh, these cars are loose everywhere. We got some drivers in the back just trying to fill this thing out. Raffini is on the charge, man. He is making this bottom line work. Right through the center. You can already see a black groove starting right there about middle of the turn there in 1. Jake Raven on the slide back. We're going to be 3 wide here. Man, Nick making this bottom line really work in this car. There's a lot of grip, as you can see. Him really slinging that thing around. JD there in the 22, getting a bit loose. Nice new paint job on that car. Man, I really love that previous one, but looks like he's got a new one going on this week. All right, so that is going to put Raffini there up to 6th. Let's go back up here and take a look at your leader, and it looks like Dylan has already got himself into a nice rhythm. Man, I'll tell you what, folks, let's see if we can go on board while we got a little bit of time, and let's see what it looks like to take a lap around here at Eldora inside of the car, and we're going to do that with your leader here in Dylan. So let's see what it looks like to get around inside of a lap here at Eldora. So you can see very easy on throttle. Rotating really nice on entry. Being patient on the throttle for exit. And there you go, folks. There is a couple of laps around Eldora. All right, so it looks like we are already starting to lap some drivers here. The 94 is going to go a lap down. The 69 already a lap down, dealing with about a 2.8 second lead. Let's go back to some battles here as Jake now looks like he's starting to get this car underneath of him here in this 37, looking underneath of Nick Baum. Right in front of them is Proctor. Proctor continuing to work his way forward now. Not a great qualifying run by Proctor. And right behind Jake is going to be Raffini. We watched Raffini a little bit earlier starting to work his way up. Still continuing to do that as now he's going to run these drivers down. 94 and the 69 getting lapped, getting out of the way and sticking down at the bottom. Jake looks like he's doing a really good job keeping that car straight. And you can just tell he is wearing that cushion out, getting a great run down the turn. You want him to stay up there a little bit longer through the apex. If he can do that where he doesn't have to check back up coming out of the turn, I believe he's going to get a lot better run. As now he's starting to work the back end of Nick, but now Nick is working on the back end here of Proctor. All right, Rachel checking in there saying, go JD. I think he is 7th right now on the grid. Man, right there, Jake still working on the back end here of Nick. Doing a really nice job, especially, like I said, really through that apex, trying to keep that car as straight as possible, and he's been able to do that. Christian Proctor now trying to get around as Michael Wiseman, who was your second position, looks like he has had some sort of issue. There is no front end, and caution is going to come out. It does look like both Roberts, Altman, and Marty White are going to crash. Wonder if that has anything here to do with Wiseman. And what's happened to that 74 is now we are all going to slow this thing down, take a breath, and let's go back and take a look at this wreck here on lap 14. Let's go back and take a look. Man, just cars everywhere. 85 down below, 51 up top. And 69 gets a really nice run through the center. Oh, and he's just going to get in the back of the 94 on exit. Then the 51 is going to lift him up in the air. He's going to clip the 4. I think the 4 is going to survive. Okay, now let's see if we can go back and take a look at Wiseman and what happened to him here. This was on lap 17. So there he goes. He's shooting down to the bottom. I believe that front clip is already gone. Yeah, this is just him shooting down pit road. So I'm not really sure what happened to Wiseman. I don't have it on my timing tower. But he certainly does not have a front clip, and you can see he is still in the pits there. Well, now that's going to reset everything. We have, it looks like 12 drivers that are here on the lead lap. It's probably going to be 11 because they're going to come through here and put Wiseman a lap down. But you've got Dylan right there. No, it does look like Wiseman's going to get out in time. The light's already out on that pace truck, but you've got Proctor on the outside. Nick right there in 3rd. Jake Raven now is going to be in 4th. Raffini in 5th. JD Van Kirk is going to be in 6th. And then you've got Shively and then Drafty 7th, 8th. Gill in 9th. And then Wilson's going to round out your top 10. All right, so back at it, Dylan really getting around this track well, and he is going to take off nice and early and get a massive jump here on the field. Christian Proctor trying to play a little bit of defense. Raffini digging on the bottom, and man, we've got some bumping and beating. It looks like the 37 and the 1 trying to argue over the same spot. The 1 is going to get that argument done as JD now is going to come up and slide in front of the 1. JD's over-rotating that turn. I mean, just throwing it through there. Man, he is still going to be right beside of Nick. Oh, caution is out. Caution is out once again. That might have been Wiseman as well. Let's go and take a look here. Wiseman, maybe that night getting worse and worse for him. There he is. And it looks like he's going to run the bottom. Man, that front end is back on that car. Oh, and it just looks like the 5 is going to come down and meet him. Yeah, just nowhere really for that 74 to go. Now the 74's front clip hanging off again. Hopefully they can put it back on. That's going to put him back in the pits. And we're going to be right back up front here, dealing with a fantastic jump. I think Proctor's got to be ready for that. He's got to know in these dirt races, the second that that truck peels off, he can go. So he needs to be ready to fire off quickly. All right, fireworks early, 23 laps already down of your 100. Raffini now is going to be in third. I believe we had a Raffini call out there in chat. Oh, yeah, Kenny picking the 04 to get it done tonight. Man, he is definitely making that bottom line work. Going to be very interesting to see what he can do here against this 70. But right now, that 70 seems pretty lights out here. All right, side by side. So here we go. We are now peeled off again. We can go anytime, and he is going to take off. Christian Proctor really on his game that time. A much better jump by that 13 machine. And now again, you've just got Raffini just has something down on these restarts. I mean, he is digging on the bottom. Now JD Van Kirk's around. We got drivers all into the wall. Nick Baum is mixed up in that. They might be back straight. No caution here. Man, we saw the 22 get lifted up off of the ground and spun around and into the wall. Now the 85 is around, 74 is around and getting T-boned. So Wiseman once again into another wreck. Man, there's so many things going on. Let's see if we can go back and take a look, see what happened to Davis and Jeremy here. So here's the 74 again. 74 down low. It looks like the 51's just going to over-rotate. He's had to kind of check up there. Oh, and then the 74 is going to kind of bump him. Yeah, and then once again, the 85 just getting in there. And man, and it looks like Wiseman takes another T-bone right into the driver's door. 69, all kinds of loose back here, but we're watching this 44 car of Ledesma. He shows that he is picking up a wreck. So it looks like he's going to start running down the bottom of the track. Jake again into it with the 5. Oh, and the 69. Okay, everybody's checking up for the wreck in front of him. 69 did not see that, and there you go, just a chain reaction. All right, let's get back to the action here. 28 laps are in the books. Man, had a really good start, couple of laps, you know, these cautions, breeding additional cautions. I believe this time, when we go through this start, we're going to do something a little different, folks. We're going to hop on board with Mr. Raffini. I really want to see how he is reacting to this throttle and how he's getting this thing done and driving down like he does. So here we go. You can see those lights are out. He is right behind Dylan in that 70 machine. Christian Proctor to his upper right-hand side there. And there he goes. Just see him just dig right to that bottom line. Mud all over the windshield. And it looks like he is going to be side by side here for that second position. Christian Proctor is going to get the wall. That's probably going to open the door for the slide job. The 04 is going to get that done. Now Dylan rotating with that track getting a little hard up top. You can see the entry starting to slick over up there, which means down at the bottom, this line is going to pick up some more traction, and it is doing that as Raffini not allowing Dylan to get away. You can see Dylan now in that slick stuff, and Raffini's just down here in that wet dirt getting some traction. Man, Dylan is in the wall pretty heavy now. That's really going to hurt him, as now that lead goes from about 8/10 down to 6. But, man, we have Michael Wiseman still trying to get that car back up to the front. Now he's going to be underneath of the 37. No, that's the 1 machine he's underneath of. JD trying to make a bounce back. He's behind the 1. Drafty again, he is up top. Oh, look at that slide job. Oh, and he's going to over-rotate and go around. Man, I will tell you, that 74 machine has just had a rough night. Trying to slide up in front of Drafty. Not enough clearance there to get that slide job done. Let's go back and take a look one more time here. And so there you go, the 74. He's going to run it down into this turn here. And just, you could just see the speed that he's carrying through this turn. Drafty's up top here. And you know Drafty's going to get a nice run off of this turn, but here we go. Wiseman's going to try to keep it down and just not enough room, and that's going to rotate him all the way around. All right, it has not disappointed so far tonight. Dylan getting in that wall. I don't see any damage to that car, so I think he's going to be just fine. You did see the sparks come off. As now it looks like Shane is getting a lap back here. He's getting the wave around. Now 14 cars are going to be on the lead lap. Wiseman there still out on the track here. Now he's going to be, looks like starting 12th or 13th. All right, so here we go, folks. We are now stacking them side by side once again. Dylan there leading every lap, getting that pole position. Definitely your fastest car out here on the track. Very interested to see what's going to happen when the temperatures and these track conditions continue to change. Because we are not quite halfway through this already. You can see the black lines. And man, Dylan again going nice and early, getting a great jump. Raffini this time choosing to stay up top, and that is going to put now immediate caution coming out. And I do not see, folks, where that caution came from here. That was on 37. Let's go. Was this? No way. This was Wiseman again. Let's go back and take a look here. Yeah, there he is. Let's see if we can find him. All right, so here we go. Oh, yeah, it looks like he might have missed a shift. Man, just not his night tonight. All right, so here we go. It did look like Raffini was choosing to stay up high, follow Dylan through 1 and 2. That definitely opened the door there for Proctor. Proctor had a great run at the very bottom of the track, so we will see what's happening now. Now, it looks like Drafty's worked his way up to 4th. JD's going to be right there in 5th. Nick in 6th. Wilson in that 51. He is going to be in 7th. Jake in 8th. Davis there in 9th. And then you got Ledesma rounding out your top 10. All right, one more time around here. Lights out on that pace truck. You know Dylan's going to go early. Nick needs to be prepared. It looks like Nick's going to spin the tires, and that is going to allow him to go side by side here with Proctor. Proctor, that is going to be a close battle. Proctor's having to check up. Now, Drafty's on that outside. He is going to try for 3rd. He's going to get into the wall on the entry of the turn. JD now digging at the bottom. JD going for 3rd, trying to get a 2 for there in 1 turn. Not quite able to make it work, but man, he is working that bottom line. Drafty just hanging the top. I mean, he is right on the cushion. Looks like Raffini's starting to run a middle line now, trying to find a little bit of traction. Oh, the 22 of JD. All over Drafty. Now he's going to slide right up in front of Nick Baum. And he is going to start working that outside line. A little bit of right front damage now for JD. And man, it's going to be some right side damage there as he hits the wall hard there, the apex of 3 and 4. The 51 doing a nice job. Look how stable that 51 driver is right now. He's going to get that pass done. I believe Wilson Jacob, he is going to pull up to that 5th position. Man, he's going into those turns nice and straight, and that is paying dividends right now as he is all over Drafty. Drafty having a checkup right in the center of the turn. That's going to allow that 51 to get up in front of him, and he is going to get that done. Oh, the 85 of Davis is around. That's going to bring out another caution there. Dylan, off of that restart, had about a 2-second lead, so unless something crazy happens, man, he is just on another planet right now here at Eldora. It looked like Davis just got loose on the exit, just over-rotated, and that brought out the caution there. 48 laps in, we're about halfway done, and as we do that, folks, we're going to step away here, pop up a little commercial for you, and we'll be right back with you. All right, so here we go. These lights are back out. And we are going to go back green. We're going to go back at 58 of 100. Man, the back part of this field's starting to look a little beat up and battered, as 7 cautions have been the story so far tonight. Now, Dylan already jumping back on that loud pedal, and he is gone. He's normally getting about 8/10 up, and it looks like Raffini doing what he does best, and that is get down to that bottom line quick. But, man, Drafty gets such a great run. Christian Proctor now into the wall. Not a whole lot slowing him down there. It looks like if we go right back here, Jacob Wilson starting to work underneath of Raven. That battle is going to be for your 5th position. Wiseman is right behind these 2 drivers. Again, I just like what I see from Jacob. I just like how straight he keeps that car. Drafty is loose. And that is going to cause another caution. That 8th caution is going to come out as Drafty overcooking the center of that turn. 51 nowhere to go. We saw that in real time there, folks. Man, really what is happening to a lot of these drivers who are just kind of getting over-rotated in the middle of the turns, and the speed difference from somebody hooked up to somebody that is off the throttle is just, you know, leaving a lot of people nowhere to go. But these revved up racing guys, you know, that 70 machine done what he has needed to do. Christian Proctor the same, worked his way up from not a fantastic qualifying position. He is in 2nd. Raffini has shown a ton of muscle early on. As now the 94 are going to get another lap back. And that is Altman. Altman was down 16 laps, but he has gotten quite a few of them back, as he is the only driver that has any laps down. Everyone else, all other 15 drivers out here running on the lead lap. All right, what can we do? 8 cautions so far. Let's get ourselves a nice green flag run going here. That truck once again pulling off. Dylan right back on that pedal. Proctor getting a much better jump this time. Raffini is working the bottom, but I just think Christian's found something up top here. Jake Raven is going to stay on top. Jake now looks like he is going to be side by side with Raffini. So this top line's starting to come in a little bit stronger. And there's that 74 machine continuing to lurk in the background. Man, I believe Jake is going to get this pass done here. Oh, he's going to get in the wall, corrected it. I don't think that he's slowed down a whole lot because of it. And he is going to be able to take over that 3rd spot now. That top line just working down these straightaways. Raffini not giving up. He is back down to the bottom. Again, the 37 in the wall. Now Raffini starting to gain some traction and some momentum at the bottom. He was just in 4th. Now he's working that bottom line, and he looks like he's underneath the Proctor. Proctor's loose. Oh, and Raffini is going to save it. What a save by Nick Raffini in that 04. Switching ends and being able to hold on. And not only did he hold on to that, but he is going to hold on to that 2nd position as he's going to continue to work the bottom of this track. Now, as we say that, Wiseman has worked his way up to 5th, but as he's done that, that 85 of Davis has started to pull ever so closer to him. A lot of damage here on that 74 machine. The 85 of Davis getting some fantastic runs off. It does look like Jacob Wilson has worked his way back. Now, he had to start back in 15th on this restart after that spin. Right now, he is going to take over that 7th position from Van Kirk. Oh, JD just all kinds of crazy down that straightaway. Drafty's going to look underneath. Drafty's had a great car all night, too. Oh, we've got another battle. It looks like Proctor starting to work his way back to the outside here. Now, 4 seconds is going to separate these drivers and your leader, as it has been most of the night. Now, there's your slide job. Jacob Wilson showing as crashed again. Caution is going to come out once again, folks. That is 9 cautions so far on the night. Let's see what happened to Jacob Wilson. Everything looks fine here. He's just going to get into that slick stuff. And he's going to go around. And, man, Van Kirk is... Oh, and Drafty's going to get into it once again. These cars just extremely hard to hang on to, and it looked like Jacob just got into that slick part. That's where they're laying rubber down. And you can see Raffini, you see the front end of that car just with big chunks of dirt all over it. Now, he is going to start in 2nd. Proctor was on that outside, starting to work back around him when that caution come out. Man, let's see if we can reset this for you. So we've got Dylan right there. He is in 1st. Raffini is in 2nd. Proctor there in 3rd. Raven in 4th. Wiseman in 5th. Davis, JD, Nick, Drafty, and Shane are all going to round out your top 10 tonight. All right, so here we go, folks. Now, we're going to have about 24 laps left in this race. There are still some fireworks to be had here. There he goes again. The second that truck pulls off, he is getting on that throttle and getting a great jump. Now Wiseman is going to start shooting for possibly 3 wide. Raffini's up top. Jake is up top. And here comes Wiseman. Let's see how he's going to hang on to that thing. He is digging there on the bottom of this track. Man, he is really rotating through the center very nicely. Oh, we got another crash here. Let's see what's happened. We got another caution. That might be Ledesma. I think it is Ledesma in the 44. Right, looks like he was able to straighten it up. He's going to get back into the turn. Yeah, he just wasn't done spinning there, folks. Slowed it down. Did not make any contact. It's going to bring out your 10th caution here for the night. All right, and there you see that 94 machine. He is going back around. He's going to get yet another lap back. Man, Wiseman doing a really good job there. That last green flag stint, working the bottom of that track. Yeah, Kenny, we are on 10 cautions here tonight. What you can expect there on dirt. But, man, we are going to line them up, and we are going to try one more time. 21 laps to go. When we take that green, there's only going to be 20. You know, a lot of these drivers would like to just run this thing out. If we could do that, it would only take us about 5 to 6 minutes to get this thing done. And, you know, but there are still a lot of battles to go. There goes Dylan again in that 7-inch machine. Now, Raffini is going to get loose down the straightaway. Now, Proctor is loose. Raven is there. He's going to put Wiseman into the wall. They're going to be 3 wide. Nick Baum there at the bottom. Wiseman on the outside now. And we are 4 wide behind these drivers. Davis is there. Oh, there goes the 37. And, man, that is going to bring out another caution. Oh, Davis is going to get some after the caution comes out. Kenny asking, what if we run like 15 green flag laps? I'm not sure. Maybe in the very first stint when we went the initial green, we might have put 10 to 15 laps down. But I think it's just been a few laps at a time since then. All right. So as we do that, folks, we're going to take another commercial break, get that one last commercial in. Then we're going to try to bring you to the finish of this race here at Eldora. We are now back green, folks, and Dylan has taken off once again. Wiseman looks like he over-rotated a little bit in the center of the turn. We are now 3 wide there. We've got drivers without any front clips on, and we are back under another caution here, folks. Looks like Ledesma is going to show as crash. Let's see if we can go back and take a look at the 44. It looks like he's just going to touch the back end of the 5 of Shane and try to slow that thing down, and he's just going to rotate it around. All right, 14 to go. Dylan, once again, still your leader, has led every lap. Altman getting another lap back. Nick Raffini right there in second. Great run so far tonight. Christian Proctor, another great run by him in third. Jacob Wilson has worked his way all the way back to fourth. You can see that 70 with a little bit of right rear damage to that car. All right, so here we go. We are lining them back up. We are going to be 12 to go when we cross that start-finish line. Dylan bringing him back down. Great jump by him. 4/10. Raffini is going to start digging the bottom early. Jacob now working on Proctor. He wants that third position. He's going to be able to take it away. So move him up to third, and we are under caution again. All right, let's see if we can go back and take a look. It looks like Ledesma might be involved in this one as well. Zach White possibly involved. Yeah, it looks like 77 is just going to come down and get him. All right, we're going to chip away at this thing one lap at a time. We have 10 to go. I believe we're going to take this thing back green with 8 to go. A little race inside of a race, folks. Albin now only 13 laps down, so as he continues to get these free passes, I don't remember where he started from, but I believe he's picked himself up about 8 laps here, getting the waiver rounds. All right, so here we go. We are going to have 8 to go. Jacob Wilson able to put a move on Proctor and get around him there for third. That pace truck off. Dylan is firing off in that same spot every single time and getting such great jumps. Now, Rafini's going to stay up top. There's Wilson. He is going to start digging. Now he's going to be right behind. He's going to over-rotate. And, man, they're going to try to keep it clean. Wiseman is going to be down at the bottom of Proctor. Wilson getting kicked to the back there. 7 laps to go. Now Wiseman got shuffled back to about 7th. Now he's back up there. Caution is going to come out for the 14th time tonight. Robert White is showing that he has crashed. Let's go take a look and see what happened to Marty. Just a little bit too much throttle right there in the center of that turn is going to loop him around. All right, 5 laps to go. I believe we're going to be 3 to go when we go back green. Still your same top 3. Now, Jacob had a good run, and it looked like maybe he tried to slide up in front of Proctor. Proctor with a good run, just barely tapped him, and Jacob had to check up, lost about 3 or 4 spots. So that battle for second and third has just been hot all night long. Now Wiseman wants to get his way back up there. Now remember, before Wiseman lost that front clip, he was in second. And JD at that 22, he has not had a front clip on that car for about the past 40 laps. But he is sitting in 6th position right now. Oh, and it looks like the 04. Oh, Davis is going to loop it around, and caution's going to come out immediately. Man, Raffini is going to get wrecked after the caution. I think he just got loose and got into the side of Proctor, and that is going to put some big-time damage on that 04. Man, let's see if we can go back and look. We saw Davis loop around. That was probably just shifting gears there on the start. Yeah, so there you go. You just see him shift gears, and that rotated around. But what I want to look for here is this caution is now out. Now, you can see the 04 is just over-rotated. He's going to get down into the 13, and that is going to overcorrect him directly into the wall. 74 is going to help him just a little. And man, that's going to take the front clip off of that car. All right, folks, 3 laps to go. Raffini is going to get that spot back. I don't know how he's going to make it with that front clip, but he's just got to hold on. And here comes that 94 again. He was looking to get another lap back. I think the 94 now is down to 11 laps. I believe that might be a record on laps that you get back by taking waiver rounds. Now, Nick Baum is in the pits. Drafty is in the pits. I believe they've probably called it for the night. There you go, the 70 back underway. Proctor gets kind of a bad start. He's going to throw it into the turn. Now, Weissman's going to be all over the back end of Raffini. Can Raffini hang on? He has got some momentum here on that high side. 2 laps remain in this race. The final lap, we are going to go to a checker flag. Now, let's follow along with this 70 machine. He is just going to roll to a victory. But right now, we have a battle for that second position. The Weissman looks like he fell off just a little bit. And Raffini is going to get in the wall. He's going to hang on to it. No clip on the front end of that machine, bringing that thing home in second. Third is going to be Christian Proctor, but man, the guy of the hour right here in this 70. Thank goodness there were some cautions, because if not, he could have lapped the field as fast as that car was getting around Eldora Speedway. Very nice job there by Dylan, picking up that win. Now that's going to help Dylan as he's going to try to march his way to a spot in the playoffs. I don't know if he can make it with the amount of races that he missed early on. But what a fantastic job by that driver. It looks like he is not going to waste a whole lot of time on spinning the tires on that thing and celebrating. So there you have it. Yeah, Rachel, it was a crazy race, but we got it done. We got through that thing, and now we want to talk to some of these drivers here, and let's see if we can get some detail from some of these drivers here in the top 3. So let's go over here to our general voice. It looks like we're going to wait just a little bit. So right now, while we are waiting, let's pull up your finishers and what that thing looked like. So Dylan, again, bringing home your victory tonight. Nick Raffini is going to be there in second. Christian Proctor in third. Weissman in fourth. Wilson in fifth. J.D. Van Kirk is going to wind up 6th. Jake Raven in 7th. Jeremy in 8th. Ledesma in 9th. Robert White is 10th. Davis is going to be in 11th. Shane in 12th. Zach White in 13th. Altman is going to be right there in 14th. Drafty in 15th. And 16th is going to go to Nick Baum. Those are your 16 drivers that took the green flag. That is where they finished. So we do have some interviews here. Let's see if we can pull up. It looks like Proctor is going to be your third place driver. Let's see if we can go and pull Christian into the booth. Christian, this is John in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, you got me?
Ooh, man, I got to tell you, that was probably one of the longer dirt races that I have seen. But, man, you had a fast car. Looked like you were really searching. You worked the low line. You worked the high line. Just really didn't have anything for that 70. But, my goodness, man, what a great drive by you. So, walk me back through your night.
Yeah, so coming in, man, it was just, I knew these cars were going to be a pain here. I figured out the top line pretty well. The bottom line I was struggling with all night, but if I could get to that top, I was getting around Nick just about every time. He'd be there side by side, but crossing the line, I was by him every single time. So I was hoping I could stay on that top line, but then he got around me at one point, and I got stuck down there on the bottom, and it was rough.
Yeah, it looked like right there before that last caution, he might have over rotated, got into your left rear a little bit, and got into the wall, knocked the front clip right off of that car. I thought that might have hurt him a little bit, and it might have, but just not enough laps to get back around him there for a second.
Yeah, when, it went green, and as soon as it was saying green, I heard yellow too, so I went to back off. I was like, "Ah, let me stand in a little bit," and, I felt him hit me in the right rear, and he went into the wall, but on the last restart there, I saw he was missing a front bumper, and I was like, "Oh, maybe it'll slow him down a little bit, I can get around him," but I was stuck down there on the bottom, couldn't get around him. He was holding that top lane up.
Yeah, he did a fantastic job. Well, and so did you. Bringing home a podium finish. Sometimes on races like this, you just take those finishes and you walk through and you put that one in the books. And man, Christian, you certainly did that tonight, man. We'll turn it over to you and let you think who you need to thank, any sponsors or anything tonight.
I just want to thank the team as usual, man. We help each other every week. We're like family, like make fun of each other a lot, and it's nice and fun. Good to have them around.
Yeah, congratulations on a third. I look forward to seeing you next week. We do have a couple more road courses coming up, so some great opportunities for you to have some additional fantastic runs. So nice job tonight here, bringing home a podium finish at Eldora.
Appreciate it, man.
All right, so there is your third place driver. That is Christian Proctor. Now, let's see if we can get a hold of Nick, the man that finished the race without the front clip. He is in the waiting room. So let's pull him up. Nick, this is John in the booth. You got a copy?
You got me.
Well, man, you had a really good drive through the field that first stint, and then it looked like through all of those cautions, you and Christian and Michael, and I think we seen JD was up there. I mean, just some challengers there. But man, it just looked like you had that bottom line working tonight. Is that something that you spent a lot of time practicing?
I did. It's just something in experience that the top line is where a lot of people tend to run. I think it's a little bit safer. Maybe not necessarily here at Eldora because that wall will make you hurt. But yeah, I had a feeling that the bottom line it wouldn't get as much usage. So I was going where other cars weren't.
Yeah, and it did look like that top line started to slick over, but there was still enough grip up there where it was really hard to make those passes. If you had a driver that seemed like they lost a little traction on the exit, and they had to check up, you were able to move it around. But certainly through the middle of the turn, it looked like that bottom line was just rolling. And then that last caution comes out. Looks like you were on that high line, maybe over rotated a little bit, knocked the front clip off of that thing. And I thought for sure that was going to slow you down, but man, you were able to hold on to that thing and bring it home in second.
Yeah, I couldn't tell how bad it necessarily was. The car wasn't driving weird at all, but I had a teammate, Jacob. He was telling me, "Hey, you're missing your front clip, so be careful." And careful I was. I did not want to do any restarts on the outside line. That bottom line was just where I wanted to be.
Yeah, and I will tell you, you were not the only one this race to finish without a front clip, my friend. So I think you were in you had company with some damage on that car, but you did a fantastic job holding Proctor off there for those last 3 laps. Really wish I would have seen you continue to work that bottom line when that line started to come in, because I thought the more laps that you were able to put heat in those tires, that bottom line would have really worked for you. But man, you brought that thing home in second. Fantastic job. We'll turn it over to you, let you give your shout outs.
Yeah, as always, revved up. The team's doing great. We're doing really good in points this season. Happy to see me pull in another second place. But all the sponsors, we've got Victory Fuel, we've got Circle W Farms, Floors by Dennis, and I got to give a throw out or a shout out to my wife who watches the kiddo while I race and everything, and of course to you for putting on the broadcast.
Well, you did a fantastic job tonight. We look forward to talking to you again next week.
Yes, sir.
All right, so there was your second place driver of Mr. Raffini. Now let's see if we can talk to the man of the hour here. He is in our waiting room, so let's pull him on up. Dylan, this is John in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Well, man, not a whole lot to say. I mean, had a fantastic. You were fast in practice. We watched that. Had a great qualifying run. Led every lap of this race, even all those caution laps. You led those two, and man, I mean, I said, I believe one time in the broadcast that it's a good thing that we do have some of these cautions because if not, man, you had the speed to just lap the field. So you just walked me through your night and how you hooked this thing up on that high side.
Yeah, it was definitely a lot of tiptoeing. It was very easy to cross the line. There's not a huge berm that builds up on here, so you just barely got that right rear in the fence. It would pull the right front around, which I did more than once. But yeah, we were able to kind of tiptoe around there on the top a little bit better than everybody else, and just kind of pull away. Yeah, I think we had a couple of 3-second leads when cautions erased them, so we were definitely fast. Frustrating. It probably I think if we could have had like half as many cautions, it might have been just a couple to bunch the field back up at times, but not repeatedly because it's really hard to get into a rhythm, especially for those guys running, second, third, battling. Once they got kind of worked out, we're able to put laps together. The caution came out and they had to double it back up.
Yeah, and I was really thinking that that high line where it seemed like the primary everybody was running was going to lay a lot more rubber down. Might have been had some of those cautions not come out where everybody underspeed and get slick. Did you feel that line starting to get a little looser throughout the night?
Yeah, it definitely got a little bit. 1 and 2 wasn't bad. There was a nice little moisture spot right above the slick in 1 and 2, so you could kind of hook the right rear into that and drive around. But turns 3 was treacherous because the where the slick was and where the wall was not much room between the two. So it was pretty easy to get that right rear up in the fence on entering 3, and once you were up there, it's hard to get out.
So this makes another win for you now. I believe I had you there 17th in points, and this is certainly going to help you. Not sure if you'll have enough races left, but man, if you go on a tear, anything can happen.
Yeah, we're trying. We missed those first handful of races. Finally made Texas. I think was the first race of the season, and had a bunch of issues. So I didn't even get the turn, but maybe the last 8 laps for points. So we're trying to climb out of that hole so we can get a shot to defend that championship from last year. We can go on a little bit of a streak here, and anything's possible.
Anything is possible, and man, I will tell you, you really put it on them tonight, Dylan. Fantastic job bringing that thing home at Eldora in first place. We'll turn it over to you, man. Let you think who you need to thank.
Yeah, the everybody over at Revved Up Racing, those are still my guys. Even though I race with hyperspeed here, so still my guys back at Revved Up. Big shout out to them. Good run for Nick running second. Big shout out to everybody at Hyperspeed. It's good, nice getting to know everybody and hang out with them a little bit. And all the sponsors over at Revved Up, Circle W Farms, Victory Fuel, Force by Dennis, the No Names, and everybody who makes this stuff possible.
Well, fantastic job, man, and we look forward to speaking to you again next week.
Thank you. Hope so.
All right, so there is your winner, Dylan, and Dylan Canova really putting it on the field tonight. Man, that is a lot of things. This is your defending champion for this league, and he's come back. Like he said, he missed a handful of those races, has come back, really shown himself to be one to certainly watch for, and he wants to get back in a position to defend that title. And with a showing like tonight, if he continues that, I'm certain that he will be able to make that field of 12 and get himself in. So without further ado, I know that this is one of the longer races, but man, we brought you some fun out here. We slung a little dirt. We had a little bit of action, some bumping, some bruising, maybe a little angry driving. We'll see what happens next week. I want to thank everybody as we go to Worldwide Technology, a completely different setup, completely different type of track than you've seen tonight. I'm John Ross, your broadcaster. Everybody have a good night, and we'll see you next week.